Hello everyone, this is the SYN here, Sin, and I am here to... I actually just want to discuss my thoughts about E3 and the current E3 and where it's going and how it is. And before I continue into this video, I just want to preface this by saying that these are my personal thoughts and feelings, and it's not reflective to anyone that's working on the channel currently, or anybody I have planned on having on the channel, or the channel itself. These are my personal opinions. So it may get a little controversial. It may, whatever. I mean, like bars, likes there, dislikes there. Feel free to tell me what you think about my thoughts. I just wanted to get my thoughts out here. Now, I'm here to basically talk about the Electronic Entertainment Expo, as you can see from the thumbnail. And to me, it's this year. I wouldn't say it was good. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. It's just one of those things where you expect things to be shown, but it's at the end, in my personal opinion, not a lot was shown. Well, at least not in the first 3 days. And it sucks because while for me a big sale point of a game is how it plays, will I enjoy playing the game, I feel that less and less people are caring about the gameplay, and more people are buying into the hype. And it really does suck because this E3 really didn't show anything at all, to be perfectly honest. And I could say with confidence that within the first 2 days there were less than an hour of gameplay combined. Now, that's just for the conferences. What was on the floor, good and whatever. And I understand it is a public event, so they don't really need to show gameplay on the conference floor because they could just show them at the booths. And I feel that's one of the biggest problems because I generally don't have the funds to go there, or I don't have the time to go there, which means I'm not going to be there every year to be on the floor to check it out. That's why before I always liked E3 because it kind of showed me what's to come without me having to spend an exorbitant amount of money to go to a faraway place or to go to a headquarter or to like subscribe somewhere. It was open for viewing, and you saw the gameplay, you saw what was coming, and that's what got you hyped. That what sold the game for me. And now you have a lot of these big corporations that are just they're just riding on hype. They're giving out more cinematics, less gameplay. And I know while I'm talking I have like some cinematics playing. I don't know if I'm gonna put it, they're either here or there, whatever. But as you can tell from the cinematics that are playing, there's not a lot of gameplay in it. And it really sucks because the people that worked on those cinematics, they are very talented. They're concept designers, they're graphic designers, they're artists, animators, riggers. These people are all very talented, and these are all very pretty, and I really like how these look. And I'm not knocking them on their ability to make these beautiful things. Honestly, they can make these into an animated movie, and my god, with proper script writing, that would be very entertaining. I mean, these folks could work in the entertainment industry working on movies, but they're not. They're working within the video game industry, and honestly, it's a hobby. I don't want to say it's a hobby I take seriously, but it's a hobby I'm passionate about. It's one of those things that I loved, and it got me through a lot of tough times. And for me, I really loved the E3 because I got to see what was coming, you know. And I understand some projects get abandoned, and some projects that were shown at E3 normally aren't the final product, and that's fine, and I understand that because it was just a show of what's to come. Now, my big problem with seeing all these cinematics again is there's no gameplay, there's no substance, and honestly I feel like it's more of a waste of these very talented folks' time and effort when it could be put into gameplay. And I understand making a game is really hard. It really is. But these guys are talented. These guys are paid to do this stuff. And it really does suck when they can't even deliver simple gameplay footage. I don't know. Some people might say that I sound entitled. But you know, last I remember, E3 was supposed to be what's to come. You know? And it kind of sucks because recently there's been a lot of flops, a lot of exposés about how these companies treat their employees. The most recent and most famous, infamous one, I would say, is Anthem, where the crunch was real, developers were treated like crap, and the game that we saw E3 we didn't get. And that is not just to EA. Ubisoft has like that downgrade meme where people would show what's at E3 and then show the current game and show the vast difference, and it really does suck because usually what we hope is whatever we see is what we're most likely getting or something similar. And I do understand that most games are made on computers, believe it or not. Oh wow, so maybe the consoles can't handle such a powerful build, but I don't expect consoles. I don't know. Just like how Ed Boon figured out how to put another character in the early Mortal Kombat with Shang Tsung by just reusing palettes and the pixels from other characters, making it a shapeshifter. You know, him pushing that technological boundary. I'm expecting nowadays they're trying to push the technological boundary. So I'm sorry if you show me the super awesome game where you could fly anywhere, you could be with friends, you could constantly just make, you know, parties and go in and out and it being seamless. I'm sorry that if I think that's now a possibility, because I believe with current technology that we have, that probably is a possibility. But who knows? Maybe I'm too much of an idealist. Maybe. And it truly does suck. And it truly sucks how a lot of these developers are treated, honestly, because hearing some of these guys being putting in like 80 hours to 120 hours a week, it's goddamn ridiculous. And I honestly feel for them. It truly does suck having to crunch, because these guys, they went through so much, they've learned so much of the trade, and they're being treated like garbage, and it sucks. I know that there is a call to unionize, and you know what? I think that they might have to, but that is another thought for another day, and I'm not going to try to get too political, because that's not with E3, but in regards to the staff that makes these cinematics and the staff that makes these games, they, besides them showing what they can actually do, they should also be treated better as well. But that's my personal opinion. Who knows? I know at the show they really showed a lot of mobile gaming, and for me, I personally, I'm not a fan of mobile gaming. For me, if I want to play a game, I have my Switch right here if I want it mobile. But if not, and I'm at home, I just set my computer and play a goddamn game. I'm not going to sell my phone and do this and play a game where it wants me to keep buying stuff to proceed and progress through the game. I'm sorry, I really don't like that type of gaming. Some people might, and that's fine. If you like that, that's cool. But I believe that right now the mobile market, especially because it's such a big portion of the gaming industry, it's kind of screwing with console and PC gamers, in my honest opinion. Now, I'm not knocking on mobile gamers. There are a lot of good mobile games, like Fallout Shelter. That's a really good one. That one's great. It's just, for me, I feel that too many people are trying to use these underhanded and predatory practices that can be normalized in the mobile market with other games, and honestly, it's really, really annoying, and it's just straight up deceitful, and it's very disrespectful. It disrespects my intelligence that these guys try it with us. Honestly, we are smarter than this, and I know that. And it truly sucks because they don't need a lot of us to make it work. They just need whales. But that's... And for those of you who don't know what a whale is, it's a person who spends like tens of thousands of dollars through microtransactions and other stuff that the game asks them to buy. And the thing is, I hate that's a thing. I truly do. Honestly, it sickens me. And it's just the way that the game industry is developing, I believe that it's kind of an effect of the mobile market. And it kind of sucks, you know. I remember when I was in high school and I had a phone. I did have a game on it. I had Spore. And believe it or not, that game was not great. It was like one of those flip phones, and it was like a really crappy pixelated mess. I just enjoyed it just because, like, it was something for me to do between periods. But as I grown older, I really never saw a point the way of the mobile market how it is right now. That's just me. And it sucks because it's one of those things that not many people will agree with me on, and I understand that. It's just it's like fighting an uphill battle at this point. And I think I've said my piece on that. And it kind of sucks because at these events like E3, they're really incentivizing the pre-order. And I understand now pre-orders are a way to show their investors and their higher ups that, oh, this is how much investment we have in this game. You know, give us this time, give us this money. And to me, it really does suck that pre-orders has turned into this thing. Because I remember when pre-orders first came out, well, the idea of pre-orders first came out was basically not being there for the day of release and our need to have these physical copies. Because back in the day, before we had like digital codes and before we had digital games and being able to patch the game throughout its life cycle, games were just made in a physical copy and was shipped out. So if you wanted a copy, you would have to go out and buy it. And pre-orders were a thing where it wasn't a thing for everyone, but it was a thing where if you pre-ordered, you had your copy. You didn't have to like skip work or skip your other responsibilities. You could continue to be a responsible adult. And with pre-orders, you'd be able to go to the store after your shift or the day after when it's your day off and be able to pick up your game. It really does suck that pre-orders turn from this pro-consumer idea, this practice, into this very predatory anti-consumer practice where it honestly, in my personal opinion, pre-orders shouldn't be a thing anymore. With digital copies and less of a demand for physical copies, pre-orders shouldn't be a thing. Pre-order shouldn't exist anymore because we fixed that problem. Because a pre-order was a solution to an archaic problem for the game industry in its early days, and we honestly fixed it. But I guess now it's been repurposed for something more insidious, and it truly does suck. Cause it's in my opinion, it's not right. It's not right at all. I am still very hopeful for E3, and I'm still very hopeful for the game industry as a whole. I mean, big corporate fat cats are still gonna want profit, and honestly, I see that a lot of these more recent business decisions are made for the sake of profit and not for the intention of giving gamers a better game. But you know what? It's not all developers. There are still some developers out there that actually give a damn and want to make fantastic games. And honestly, not all of them are going to be at E3, and that's fine. I just wish I wish the game industry as a whole would just get better. But it's not going to be on the backs of wishes. It's going to be on the backs of those who are going to put in the work. And honestly, for E3, I really hope they get their act together and become not what they were, but they go in a direction where we're not stuck watching a 2-hour movie for a video game. We're not stuck watching a hype package for a video game. Because what most of us want to see in E3 is what's coming. Does it work? How is the gameplay and how do we play it? That's what we want to see. You know? At least that's what I want to see. Anyways, thank you everyone for listening to my rambling. Because I know I rambled a lot. I rambled way too much. So, thank you very much for watching. And next week, we'll have a discussion on Banjo-Kazooie and the new Dragon Quest character. Along with Donkey Kong and whatever else we have planned for next week and the weeks after. Until then, this is Sin. I'll see you around.